I bet you can't guess what we're going to do today. It's Kathy from Maryland. We are going to make some adorable vintage Valentine's Day cards with some fun 3D butterflies using some jelly prints, really fun elements on the back. I've made a simple little vellum envelope to put the Valentine's Day card in. I haven't really put any sentiments on the back of these yet because I'm waiting for a special little girl to tell me what she wants for sentiments. But anyway, stick with me and I will show you step by step how to make these adorable little cards. We're going to jump right into the jelly printing process. I'm not doing a whole lot of teaching on that. I'm just demonstrating some of the different background papers and stencils that I used, and then we'll jump right into the actual card project. So I do have a little bit of footage about the jelly printing. Anyway, it's super fun, and I hope everybody sticks with me to the end. Let's have some fun. I'm using my 8x11 jelly plate by Jelly Art that I got on Amazon, and just some acrylic paints. I wanted to add a little bit of green and turquoise just to add a little different color than the pink. So just making some bases right now to add with some stencils. And there were some bits and pieces on the jelly plate, so I picked up a whole bunch of fun stuff. So I'm just adding a little bit of orange there and pretty pinks. And once you apply the paint to the stencils and take the stencils off, you can take a base coat, a base layer, and just pick that paint up as long as you do it pretty quickly. So I used the green and blue sheet, and I think it came out nice. So this is going to make nice paper for collaging, and that's why I'm doing this. I love this stencil, and I'm just adding kind of it's a cream color, a blick paint, and a little bit of pale pink, just to make a pretty little, more light colored palette. And so of course when you add a base layer with a lot of bright colors, that's what's going to come in where the stencil was. So I really like how this came out. There was a little gold left on the plate, and I think that's really pretty, and that'll be beautiful ripped up for collaging. So yep, making another background for a stencil. And my jelly plate is finally getting warmed up. Just putting those aside, I've got this cool little alphabet stencil that I added a touch of green and blue to. And I wanted to jelly plate some old book pages, and I haven't done it yet, and I really was happy how they came out. I didn't know if they would be too frail, but I did a music sheet in a book page, and they came out great, and I'm so happy because I love using old book pages. I went and added a little pale pink because I want to pull up all that nice stuff on the plate, the leftover. So just a thin layer of acrylic paint, and that could be one of my favorite ones right there. That came out so nice. Just all those extra bits and pieces. Another base piece with just some fun gold and red left over. I don't even remember what this one was. So the last couple I'm just showing you, pulling up the couple of stencils, more book pages. So I wanted to say, if you don't have a large jelly plate, they sell 5x7s on Amazon, and those work great. So what this is I tea stained these extra large envelopes for a project I did. So I opened up the envelope, and I thought that I would decoupage on this side, and then the other side will have that nice tea stain. And then, you know, the strength of the paper will make this thicker, and so it's kind of like doing a masterboard. And then I'm going to cut them up into individual cards, and then we'll put a decoration on them for Valentine's Day. So I've torn up some scrapbook paper and little bits and pieces, and I will tear up a little bit of this as well. So I'm just going to randomly like tear up some of this, and we'll see how it goes. I'll be going in the little bin here. And then we are going to glue. And I think that's the fun thing of a masterboard, is that that's a pretty design, isn't it? When everything comes together and then you cut it into smaller pieces, you get a little chunk of this and a little chunk of that. And I think that's very cool. That's what we're going to try anyway. I'm going to use this old magazine here for my gluing, thanks to one of you who suggested that, because I was using a notebook. And you said, oh, just use an old magazine. And I'm like, oh, that's so smart. Absolutely. So where there's straight edges, we will definitely take advantage and do the straight edges. And I definitely did not intend on collaging again for this project. But the more I thought about the Valentine, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to take a whole bunch of different shades of pink and designs and just see what we can come up with to make an interesting card. Okay, so what I'm going to try next is I'm going to cut this in half and then in thirds, and it will give me roughly 4-inch squares. I thought it might be fun to do a square. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. Get it down to a more manageable size. And then let's go ahead and do it in half again. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. This is really fun. Okay, so I can see a couple of these are a little off, but you know what? That's okay. I am going to make a little envelope out of vellum for these Valentines, so I will have to get them a little closer. And what I'll do now is just get out my little cutting tool and just make them a little bit closer, because when it comes to envelopes, I think that just makes a lot of sense for these guys to be the same size for sure. So we'll just kind of do it like that. And then the other side is just tea stain. And it's yet to be determined what's going to happen with that. But I am super happy with how these came out. They're just cute as can be. I do have one thought. I have this Elizabeth Craft. It's for a planner, as you can see, but it's this really cute heart die. It just kind of, you know, clusters them along the way. And I am just thinking about what I might want to do with that, because that, of course, would get cut. It's like the perfect size. I didn't even realize it. I honestly didn't plan for that. But that's like a 4-inch space. Whoa, that's nice. So I cut out a couple of them just to see out of this solid. Oh, that's pretty. Easy to glue on. I think that's very pretty. So what I am going to do is I'm going to sew these and I shall return. Okay, so what I did was I took my squares and I sewed around and I put a little lace tab on the top. And so we've got the blank back and that nice collaged front. So I've been playing around with a few different designs, and what I've come up with is I have this cool, I found it, I didn't even know I had it. I have this cool kind of like a heart die that I believe I got on Amazon. So I cut out some with this nice Ranger Tim Holtz stock. I love this Distress Media Heavystock. I'm going to put that like that, and I'm also going to use, this die actually, it had a solid middle. So I found another heart die that I had, and it cut out the middle for me. So it worked out kind of perfectly for size. So that was great. And what I did with the extra piece is I just stamped that with some lettering, and some of them will get that, and some of them will get that. So I'm using both pieces, so I thought that was great. I may also stamp the lacy edge with the script as well. I like that. So I'm using this Elizabeth Craft Design Butterflies and Swirls stamp. It's CS348. I really did well. I think it was right before Christmas. She had a fantastic sale, and it could have been like 60% off or something. So I got some stamps that I've been looking at, things that I thought that I would use. So this is really great with that script and the butterflies and the swirly corners, and I really like that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use some of that craft paper and stamp some butterflies. Actually, I'm going to back up a second, because what I would like to do first is dye the paper. I am going to stain this paper. So what I'm going to do is use some Distress Oxide spray, peeled paint, and cracked pistachio, and just give this a little bit of color, and then I'm going to stamp the butterfly over that. I do want my heating tool and a little bit of water, just in case we want to do a little bit extra oxidation. And I like the combination of these two colors a lot. All right, so let's go ahead, give that a little. Okay, I really like that. That's nice. So that's going to be the background for my butterflies. Just want to make sure that's good and dry. I'll put these back over here. So I have two different butterfly stamps with two different sizes as well. And I've been playing around, and because I've got the two different bases, I'm going to go ahead and use both of them. Just do a few of each. I'm using the Clair black. Okay, I am going to put that aside. They came out really nice to dry, and then I'm going to fussy cut them. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to layer these up. So I am going to take butterfly, and I'm going to put a piece of vellum underneath, and then a solid color underneath that. So I want to go ahead and add a little bit of color to the solid and the vellum. I'm going to add a little bit of this crackling campfire, and then I am going to just add a little bit of one of these sprays to the edges, plus a little bit of gold. I think that will be nice. Do a few of those. All right, go with a little bit of this on the edges. Well, it's not really on the edge. That's the whole wing. That's not what I had in mind. I just wanted to put a little blue like that around the edge. And I'm okay if it bleeds into the other area a little bit. Okay, so just dragging it a little bit on the tips. Don't fly away, little butterflies. We are not done with you yet. Okay, I'm going to splatter these guys with some gold, and I'm just using this Deco Art Metallic 24 karat gold, and just going to do a little bit of splatter. I may even drag a little wing across that. I probably should be using my splatter box, but I am not. Yeah, you know how sometimes butterflies have those beautiful little different colors on their tips. That's what I'm trying to do, is just maybe give the bottom a little gold. I was watching Louise Heinzel's craft room today, and oh my goodness, I got such great ideas. Like, for instance, what I'm doing right now, she uses these little placemats and has a little stockpile of them. So when you do something like this, then you pick the placemat up and you bring it to a different area for it to dry. So that right there was a beautiful tip that I am going to totally do, because this is the perfect instance where I could pick this up and go bring it to another area to dry, which I can do, but then I would lose my little mat. So I am going to go to the dollar store and see if I can find some good old plastic placemats, and I am going to use that. So thank you, Louisa, for that tip. That was one of the very many tips that I got today. That was great. I think we'll just put these aside and let them dry, because the next thing that I wanted to do anyway, and I don't need that pad actually, because I am going to just take some vellum. I am going to just do a quick little stencil on here. I was going to stamp them a script, and then I decided to use the script for my hearts, so then it would be like script on script. So that didn't really make sense. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick little stencil to give these guys a little character. Then I will use just some vintage photo and then give it a little spritz. But that's kind of hard to see, actually. The vellum completely disappears. Oh my gosh, that's funny. There we go. Nice. Oh, I like that look. Two. Give them a little spritz. Kind of loosen up the pattern a little bit. Now this is going to make them a little curly, but as they dry, they'll flatten back out. You'll see. I am going to make those fold up, so that actually is kind of like the perfect little bend right there. Okay, next step. Look at how cute. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with how these came out. So I ended up just stitching down the middle. And I think it's nice because it's very secure. And it also they just kind of spring up naturally, I think, because of my curly vellum. So that turned out to be fine. So I'm getting ready to assemble my little Valentine's cards. So I just wanted to show you individually. Yeah, I think that the gold splatter really added a lot. So I'm just taking that, I'm layering that in the middle, and then putting that, and then I am just going back and forth in the middle. I'll do one. Yep, simple as that. And then you can just kind of fold the wings up a little bit, you know, to get it like that. So let's just go ahead. So as I said, I've got the two different ones. I've got that, and then I've got the lacy heart. So we still have to do the backs. That was one of the samples I had done, and I do like that. But let's just get these butterflies on, and then I'll turn them over and do the back. As I say that, seeing how 3D these are. Okay, so let's do some of the backs of these. I did want to show you this, which I thought was cute. So some of them I'm going to do this little banner, and I threw a couple sentiments on here, and I started to do some sentiments, and then I thought, no, because I'm actually making these for my granddaughter, and I'm going to call her and see what she wants for a sentiment on the back of them. So I'm going to just go ahead and do the decoration. This was the first one I did, and it's one-dimensional. And what do you guys think compared to that? So then I was like, you know what? I want to make them three-dimensional. I think it's so much nicer. We'll start with these. So I'm just cutting off a little bit extra of that I don't need. I'll do some with this and then some with the little banner, which I really do like. Then once I get the backs on these, then we can flip them over and put the butterflies on. Now let's do one of the other type. So I got this cute little hole punch. I don't know where I got it, actually. Sorry. I took a black pen and just made a little arch for my banner. Like that. And then I think I'm going to use this color because, boy, is that pretty. I think we may have enough already. I just start with the middle, lay that right on there, and then I work out. That's all. Simple. And then what I thought I would do is I'm going to cut a heart out of my pretty jelly paper. Which one was it that I did? Oh, this one. So that was one. Just kind of cut that out. I actually have that one, but that's pretty large. I wanted it to be a little smaller. Oh, that's cute. I like it. The other thing that I've been doing is putting a couple little hearts on the front of some of these with my punch. And I also have some of that pretty little lace from a die. I just have a little bit of it. Oh, that's kind of pretty, isn't it? Right along there. It's just delicate and subtle. I think that's cute. Oh, yeah. Get its wings nice and fluffy. I do want those strings to be up there for sure. A little extra antenna is cute. Just get that glued on and then we can fluff the wings up. Wow, my desk looks like a bomb went off, doesn't it? Oh my goodness. Sorry guys, just having a little Valentine explosion over here. So this of course is a little painstaking, but I think it pays off. I mean, look at how cute that little banner is. The little heart banner. Very nice. Yeah, I think the one with the lacy heart doesn't need anything on top, but I like that heart is a little small, so I like that little piece of edge on top. Looks pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these up. Just loving how these are coming out. And I will return. Well, here they are, my finished Valentines. They make me happy. I love the bright colors. I like the 3D butterflies. I hope you guys will try this. So I wanted, as I just finished this, I wanted to share this little book with you. And it's was written in 1972. It's called God Bless Love by this lady, Nanette Newman. But actually it's a collection of children's sayings. One night her daughter prayed and said, God bless my sister, God bless my mommy and daddy, God bless my toys and friends and everyone in the world, and God bless love. And her foreword, I love this little English proverb. She wrote, children pick up words as pigeons peas and utter them again as God shall please. And she just talks about the honesty of kids. And she says, I make no apology for the fact that the title and indeed the inspiration for the book came from my youngest daughter. She added a postscript to her scrambled bedtime prayers. After the usual lists of requests, she said suddenly, oh, and God bless love. Listening to her, it occurred to me that most of us have traveled a long way from something so basic and so obvious. Perhaps children are more aware than we are. I believe they are more caring and more careful, and that in many ways, While perhaps making us laugh, they also shame us with their honesty. So this is a collection. She said she made it literally from thousands of entries. Children of all different backgrounds, private schools, public schools. Just wanted to read a couple because they are precious. Here's one. You can only love things near you. You can't love countries or lots of people. If only the world were made of love. So, and that was from Louise, age 7. If you eat sweets in the church, the vicar tells Jesus. Robert, age 5. This is God. This is pretty telling and very true. You must take care of love. If you don't, it goes bad. James, age 5. I mean, they're hilarious. My husband and I were sitting and reading these, and they're just so cute. This is just funny. My big sister fell in love, and she went to this place where they sell you holy matrimony. But I don't think she paid them all the money because she said it wasn't worth it. And one last one. I love this. I say my prayers with my eyes open so I can hear what I'm saying. Robin, age 5. I just love these, and I just thought that this was a good time. I've been wanting to share this little book with you guys. I thought this was an appropriate time for it. I guess I just wanted to say that I think it's so sweet that children send Valentines, to their classmates, and everybody gets one. It's not just, I'll just send to this friend and that friend, but they just send this little message of, I care about you, I love you, saying that in their own way. And I thought that was so special, and I just think we have a lot to learn from children. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed this project, and we'll try it for yourself. I am going to make little vellum envelopes for these, but the time just got a little out of hand. As you can see, there's a lot of work in these. And I did want to make all of them because I am making them for my granddaughter and sending them to her, so I figured I would just do it all. So when I go to edit this video, if I get one of the envelopes made, I'll show it to you at the end. But anyway, thanks guys, love you.